All right, you're gonna drop down into this stance. So really think about bending the knees and sinking, right? And so in yoga, this would be a little bit more bent knee than typical in Tadasana, mountain pose, but the energetic impact is the same. It's about being still and grounded, right? So we're allowing any energy, like our legs are just rooting down through the bones below the earth's surface, right? And so also bringing in this electromagnetic frequency of the planet, of Pachamama, Mother Earth. So drop down, right? Bring your fingers, your middle fingers is kind of that fire element, and plug them in, find the belly button, go below the belly button. Draw your shoulders up and relax them down. Good. We're gonna begin just by breathing out with a empty, and then watch that breath, fill the belly, the side ribs, up the armpit. Good, and then the and each out breath, sink even deeper towards Pachamama, Mother Earth. Good. In breath, energy comes up from the belly up, naturally starting to rise up through the liver gallbladder region, through this what they call second dantian, towards the armpits, towards the heart, and then exhale, empty. Good. Inhale, breath. We're beginning to oxygenate the blood. I was reading, keep going, just a simple practice. I was reading a great book about helping people recover, even from Lyme disease or other issues. And they talked about the importance of oxygenating the blood, oxygenating the cells, actually allowing our mitochondria in our cells to rebuild itself, after going through treatments like chemotherapy or antibiotic treatment. And so in the QiGong tradition and yoga tradition, breath work is fundamental to keeping our immune system strong, keeping our body strong. And so when you breathe in, can you imagine that breath not only going into your lungs, but going into the cells themselves, strengthening that mitochondria in the cell that allows your body to really renew itself. When you put your hands on the lower belly, what you're doing is you're saying, Chi, come up from the earth, prana, build my reserves right here, the adrenals, the kidneys, the reproductive organs, to build this Chi strong here. It's what we do. We put our hands here, our mind here. When we breathe out, we're letting go of the toxic emotions that can kind of create imbalanced Chi, exhaustion, and we're refilling from the bottom up. Good. Notice maybe more saliva coming in underneath the tongue. That's a sign that we're starting to move lymph, move Chi, move blood. By maintaining stillness, but just beginning to take conscious, purposeful breath, telling the body mind what to do. Breath coming in. In the medical Qigong clinic, plugging these middle fingers into the lower dantian, very powerful. Help to unblock, block Chi. Breath comes in. Breath out. Good. Mind really focused here. Breath coming up from the earth. And breathing out. Wonderful. Let your hands come down. Good. So waterfall, one of the most simple and powerful techniques. So hands are going to sweep across the hips, literally like you're smoothing out the ripples of a waterfall, creating kind of stillness of mind out. Now bend those knees. As you extend your arms upward, you're connecting to the horizon. When your hands come up, just like in yoga, relax those shoulders, extend your energy like you're plugging in to universal energy. That's what QiGong is. You're using external energy and bringing it inside. You're in that merging and using, saying yes to this greater life force that can help us be stronger, healthier. Good. Right? Arms uplifted. Now we're going to run this energy through intention, right? You receive it, you draw it in through your body. So hands are going to come down. Imagine you're bringing this waterfall energy in through your beautiful crown, through your face, throat, heart, solar plexus. This is where there's usually a lot of stickiness right here down to the base. Now smooth it out. Good. Inhale. Mind follows those fingertips out to the horizon, up above the clouds to the clear blue sky, anchor into some source of either sun energy, star energy, or a benevolent, positive image. Sometimes I think of my grandmother, you know, Kuan Yin. Sometimes I just think about connecting to the stars and the sun and bringing that strength, that vital source energy down through, washing away. You can make this technique your own. But most important is that mindset of using an external kind of energy and alchemizing, using that to help alchemize, being connected. Something greater, bringing it in. In the medical world, this would be used to help calm anxiety, to lower blood pressure. If you had a biofeedback machine or like a heart math, one of those little biofeedback mechanisms where you could listen to your blood pressure or track your blood pressure. After 5 minutes of this technique, you would see the blood pressure in most cases lower significantly. Bringing this energy within and through, down through the chakra centers, down to your base, and smooth out. Stillness of mind, inhaling up, hands float up. So in this practice, as we get into the zone, it's almost like we're in what we call practicing spanda yoga, spontaneous yoga, where you are a witness. Your intention is just for the body to rejuvenate, to heal. And the body starts to kind of move at its own pace. And you're simply just watching and noticing. The hands are just flowing up, lifting up without too much effort. As you deepen, as the chi gets stronger in your body, the hands will begin to get hot and tingle. The body can have shaking. The breath kind of creates a somatic release, which means it kind of builds up on its own, and then there's just a nice release. If you want to strengthen your legs, good. You can come up, straighten those legs, hug those thigh muscles into the thigh bones, and then as you come down, you can use a little more muscle energy. Draw this light energy down and through, and then sweep out. Now, if we want to practice what we call external QiGong healing, which means we are taking this universal Qi energy, not our own energy, similar to Reiki, and we're going to intend for this energy that we're gathering and connecting to not only come through our crown down, we're going to use it with our mind to focus on, just have a wide bird eye view of each person in this. And let's see if we can coordinate our movement. Inhale, coming up. We all connect in. And now look at the screen and see everyone, hands cupped straight out, and imagine this light force coming down through all of us. And that there's this sense, this is how we deepen in QiGong, is that we're not just practicing with ourselves in universal energy, we're now feeling the power of practicing in group, creating what we call social coherence, harmonizing not only ourselves, but harmonizing with others. These 5 people right now really doing this practice, as well as the millions of people doing yoga and QiGong all around the world. If we can broaden our awareness and use that image to help strengthen, calm, and soothe the self. I always think this is another form of activism, just to do practice. I study QiGong so much of when I use it into my meetings and in my relationships. They say 90% of the outcome you're going to create with others in your interactions happens before you even enter the room. What type of space are you in? Are you harmonized? Have you set intentions to harmonize the field between you? Right? Because everything's felt. Go twice more. Inhale, reaching up, really plugging in a big yes, and then happily drawing this energy down, straight down through the spine of another, sweeping out, still mind. Good, and washing away. Good, pause here. Now we're gonna move energy up. It's a little different than the traditional Wei Qi. So we're gonna take our right, so let's bring our hands together and rub them together. Take your stance. So again, what we practice in space together, if I came to push you in any direction, you wouldn't have to fight me to stand strong. You're just grounded and relaxed. So you wanna create heat. And automatically when you start to do that, you're commanding that the chi builds. And you might even see the saliva and the swallows, or feel the saliva increase and swallows begin to happen in your throat, which is a good sign. Good, now hands come down. You're gonna imagine the fingertips go down towards the earth. You can see that. Good, and then you're gonna bend down and you're gonna pull energy up. All the way up to the crown. Now we're gonna wash the heart line, right? So you're sweeping down, allowing that left hand to rise up and sweeping down the hand. Good, right? This hand comes back to the center. Left hand sweeps up. Use the perineal floor muscles, pull up. Good, washing and cleansing, out breath. You could do breathless or breath focused QiGong. Inhale, I like alternating between the two. Good, washing. Know what we're doing. We're pulling energy from the earth up to the pelvic floor, up through the dantians, up through the endocrine organs, and then washing. Detoxing. Good. Left arm comes up, hovers right in front of the body, including the throat and the face, and then washing. Inhale up. Exhale. When you breathe out, pull the belly in, lift the pelvic floor, using the bandhas in a way, the lower bandhas. Good. Inhale, left comes up, pulling the belly in, lifting the pelvic floor, and then exhale, relaxing the diaphragm, emptying. Twice more, inhaling up. Good, exhale, washing. Very important to kind of wash that neck and throat. When we're on high alert for too long of a time, those scalings in the front of the neck can get hypersensitive. Good, and now inhale, Wei Chi. So I'll lower this for a second. So we're gonna kind of hover, gonna pulse the hands. Mind goes to the hands and it goes below the earth's surface. Feel your feet strongly connected to the earth, and you're kind of pulsing like you're calling up. This is also a shamanic practice. It's like you're going down to the core of the planet, the magma, right? You're kind of pulling it up, you're calling it in, you're connecting to it. Because we could do these practices, but if we're not really connected, we're gonna get minimal benefit. So you wanna enroll the mind in your imagination. Drawing up that magma or whatever it is, nurturance through the roots. Imagine bringing this up through your tree root, like you are a beautiful oak tree with not a single brown spot. Drop down, hands come up right at the solar plex. We lift up, come up to the crown, and then you're gonna spread like a thick spread all around you, extending your branches out in the field around you. Good. I'm gonna change the screen, keep going. Inhale. If you need to pulse a few times, do that. All the way up. Good, and create this sense of what I consider the second skin. Now, one of the images that really helped me when I was sick, I had Epstein-Barr and I was sick for a few years. That helped me, I had to heal. I'd gotten bit by a tick and had some, I was treated for Lyme, but I just didn't bounce back. You know, I had all these symptoms for a while, and one of my Buddhist teachers, who's a body worker, said, think of yourself as this tree. And when our Wei Chi field is depleted, or we're facing sickness or chronic stress, it's like we're a barren tree with no leaves in the winter, you know, just there. And we're not going through the cyclical seasons of life, right? So we're not growing those tree leaves, creating that thickness, absorbing the sun. So this Wei Chi practice is about kind of, if we go through those periods where we're without protection, without foliage, where we're super sensitive and can be thrown off our center. This visualization is about growing protective, you know, structure around you, thickening your energetic field so you're less impacted by the emotions of others. was coaching a client the other day, and they said, my happiness is completely linked if everybody else around me is happy, right? It means the Wei Qi field is so permeable that we can completely sync if someone else is syncing. So this is the emotional and therapeutic technique to create thick protective energy. Great for people who are sensitive like me and many of you. Inhaling up, sit down, rise up. Good, and feel this thick, beautiful oak tree that you are, coming up through your roots. Good, up all the way out, extend through your branches, see and feel bright, colorful leaves without a single brown spot, they teach us. A few more times before we hold. The holds are more challenging, so enjoy this movement. Tongue can rest behind the front two teeth. Again, intention is to strengthen, to create a protective Wei Qi field around you. Good, all the way up. Now the next time your hands come up, keep them there, right? Reaching out. This is one of the most challenging QiGong practices. Drop your shoulders down. Palms are facing each other. My knees are bent. Relax the neck, relax the shoulders. We're gonna try to hold this for 2 minutes. At any time you need to release, let one hand come down, relax, and then raise it back up, and then let the other hand come down. So this practice is teaching you what we call resolve, internal stillness. Close your eyes. Notice your breathing. If you don't feel steady closing your eyes, open them halfway. And practice what we call active relaxation. Relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the jaw, relaxing the forehead. Witnessing not only your physical symptoms, noticing where you hold tension and tightness. And as the qi gets super strong in your body, what happens, it begins to rise up from the lower parts of the body and it starts to push through the emotional memory in the body. So unblocking. When we meet the emotional content, the body says, oh, that's a lot. And it can have an action urge to quit, to release, to do something different. Rather than holding still, which allows the qi to move upward towards our hearts, towards our throat chakra, lots of blocks there. And now you're waiting for what we call psi signs, where you can kind of feel the energy working to move upward, closing your eyes, just feeling. Noticing when it hits what we call the wall, the energetic wall. And then just breathing out, relaxing, softening. You're almost there, 30 more seconds. Again, giving yourself permission to take a break. We build up to this with wise progression, up to 15 minutes a day. This simple practice is what's used to condition police officers, you know, EMT workers, people who have addiction, just to be able to be steady and watch the mind without reacting, to watch the action impulses that you feel rise and fall, and that you're staying steady with your breath, actively relaxing and softening. Good, now you're gonna drop your hands forward and they're gonna slap the front of your legs. They're gonna come down, and now just be still and see if you can feel the sensation throughout the body. See if you can notice if there's a raising up of the qi of the breath towards the heart, and then a relaxing down. Good. Let's go back to waterfall 3 times, followed by Wei Qi. Bend your knees. Mind goes down below the earth's surface. Then out to the horizon as you reach up. Yeah, it's a collecting, a yes breath up above the clear blue sky. So way up to the clear blue sky, to the sun. Good, and bring this energy in. And then smooth out, like you're literally smoothing out your energy body. Inhaling up. Drawing softly in and through. Good. Inhaling up again. Good. Down and through. Now move right into Wei Qi. Hands come down. Good. Kind of hover And like you're coaxing up, you're calling up the energy from the earth, move it up through your legs, through the perineal floor, through your reproductive organs, up through the chakras, drop down in your seat, bend your knees, draw the energy up, up, up through the crown. Connect with that higher potent energy and then bring that stardust or that sunshine or unconditional love all around you, all the way down back to the earth. Good, so in this protective bubble. Then drop those hands down, connect, draw it through, sit down, move it through the throat chakra, through the crown, plug in. When you feel that connection, then allow there to be this big, soft opening, protective, soft energy around you. When you begin Qigong, we teach you, very basic, the movements, the breath. As you deepen your practice, just as in yoga, you begin to use mudras, right? You begin to use visualization. And the more of the technique you can authentically access, the more healing you can have. So mind is the most important healer, more than what you're doing with your movement. You could do the same practice without moving a muscle through mind and benefit. Feel the flow of qi through your whole body just by visualizing, engaging your imagination centers, feeling this thick protective field around you. Good, come back to your center. Now, instead of holding here, we're gonna come up here, right under, so we have the spleen, the pancreas, you have the liver, the gallbladder, all of these emotions. So you're gonna pause in here. So plant one on top of the other, or you can kind of create like this feeling of digging in a little bit and spreading. Whatever feels right to you, but you're gonna kind of, what we're doing now is calling the chi up here. So relax your shoulders, sink down. We're gonna do some breath of fire work. So breath of fire in Qigong is similar to yoga. It's just that this one is more gonna be equal on inhale and exhale. The intent is very simple. Burn up, kind of what we call burn up toxic emotional blocks here. Oxygenate the blood and to allow these blocks to move up so the chi, the kundalini, can just rise up and down the spine. So relax your shoulders. If you have high blood pressure or if you're pregnant first trimester, you're gonna wanna just skip that and just hold your intention here, and that's enough. So the advanced practices in Qigong and yoga are really still, long holds with stillness. So we're gonna do this breath of practice. It's gonna be in and out through the nose like this. And you'll see that the belly will just kind of move in and out. You don't have to think about it. Slightly engage the pelvic floor. Your mind drops in here. And we begin. Let's try for 1 minute. If that feels like you're not getting enough oxygen, just breathe out, close your eyes and breathe in and out here. Come back when you need to. So on the exhale and inhale, you're getting rid of oxygen and you're breathing in. So here's how it looks. Join me when you're ready. Ten more seconds. Exhale all your air. Lift the pelvic floor, pull the belly in. Pause on the exhale for a moment. Good. Now we're going to oxygenate the body. So inhale, hands drop down. Deep breath in. Right here, belly, solar plex, up to the armpits, reaching up. Hold the breath in with a pause. Relax the shoulders. Keep extending out. So feeling not only breath circulating in the body, but prana or chi. And then when you need to, exhale, hands come right back down, right to the solar plex. Plant them here. Now wait. Just wait. We do technique, and then we see if there's a shift in our breath, if we've been able to create more space, freedom in the body, if you're starting to get more saliva, more swallowing, perhaps even a little shake as the body's trying to break through the blocks. We're going to do 2 more rounds. Primarily, and when we're in medical Qigong clinic, this is the area that we have to work really hard to open up. And for some people, it can take 5 or 6, healing sessions just to get the excessive anger or resentment stored in the body to release out. And so this is one of the techniques. We press pressure in. Now you can use each other. So use your gaze right now. Look at all these beautiful ladies or participants that you're practicing in. When you practice, let your gaze like a hawk get wide and just have a sense of kind of the collective practicing. And have your gaze is a big part of what we use to help others heal, is we just simply gaze at the solar plex while we practice. So when you're ready, give it a try and see if there's a difference between the first way of practicing and then when you call in the group energy, okay? So drop down. Just have an awareness. We're not fixing or healing others. We're just lending our gaze so what we plug into like a group practice, right? Here we go. If you're practicing at home and you're not on the live call, just use your imagination and imagine that you're with us and you're just gazing upon the solar plexus of all those you call in. So mind, I do that when I'm practicing alone almost always. Picturing that fire in the belly. Ten more seconds. Exhale all your air. Lift the pelvic floor. Pull the belly in like you're squeezing and wringing out. Let the mind get quiet. Good. Relax down. Bend the knees. Inhale. Mind comes out to the side. Breathing in. See if the breath feels different when it reaches the solar plex. Good. And then exhale, emptying, washing away. Good. A few more. Waterfall. Reaching up. Coming down. One more time. Good. Coming back down. Good. Now we want to start to make it easier for the chi and the prana to move up into the armpits, into the lymphatic system. This is part of creating a strong immune system, keeping the lymph moving, but also it's prevention for all types of cancer. That kind of when the lymph system gets overwhelmed is also important for breast health. So those of you at home, often you're at home, we're not going anywhere. Take off your bras, make sure, one of the practices they teach is actually just jumping up and down, letting the breath kind of move up and down without being held. It's a really important kind of female practice for keeping the lymph and the breast tissue healthy and not holding toxins and holding and letting the lymph ducts get clogged there. And so one of the things that we're going to just do now is just to try to think about creating opening and space underneath the breast, through the armpit, and all above, right here. And so we're going to do, there's many ways to do this, but I'll teach you one of my favorites. And we'll do 2. We'll do, it's teacup practice. And so imagine on your palm that you're holding a teacup or a ball and you don't want it to fall off. So you're in your stance. The stance is really important. You might just do this stance in Qigong training for 4 hours and do nothing else. And so what we're taught is when the mind comes in and says, go on to the next practice. I'm tired of this practice. That means you really should stay longer until the mind has less influence or control over your actions, right? So you're gonna move this video. You're gonna take this hand and you're gonna rotate it. So the fingers move backwards. You wanna feel that rotation. That's part of moving the black chi. Good, you're gonna take this wrist and go over to the opposite shoulder. You're gonna sit down a little bit more, and then you're gonna like lasso. So in a way, you're reaching up to the stars, gathering that stardust, right? You're gonna bring that energy into your beautiful face, sweep down, and then pull that in right here to that lower dantian, right? So again, we're always running energy from the earth up and we're running energy from the sky in, right? So left hand, we're going to come across. If you know this, you can just kind of do it at your own pace, sweeping in. Good. Inhaling. Now, if you feel you have a lot of anxiety, you feel like you have a lot of what we call emotional content, you do not have to know what it is. The big part of my healing is not having to name and describe every single sensation that my body was giving me, rather than just working to alchemize it, to free it, right? Good. So inhale, coming up. Try this. Maybe do that 3 or 4 rounds and then go to breathless. Inhale. Feeling the breast open up, the lymphatics. What I found in my years and years of treating, you know, as a healer, as a somatic therapist, as a yogi, and my own practice, the area that still remains blocked for many, many people on the path is the throat. Even being able to make sound is a challenge. So this practice of even just making the shh, giving yourself permission to be heard, to make sound without worry, is part of freeing that restriction of the throat. Shh. 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 One more time with the breath. Shh. Shh. Now we go to breathless, and it's going to pick up the pace a bit. So knees are bent. Sorry, you can't see my whole body. I'm having to alternate the screen. You're going to go a little faster, right? Inhaling, find your own pace. Keep that hand palm turning to keep that teacup from falling. So there's a wrist rotation back. That palm is facing the sky, gathering in that energy. Bring it into your beautiful face, down your heart, down your center. And once you get the technique, go to the mental practice. So gathering stardust, bringing that in. The shamanic teachers believe that we came from the stars. I think even my first yoga teacher, Rod Stryker, used to say we're made of the stars. So in a way, we're just returning, bringing in that vital resource, and pulling it in. And in my teachers, they're all very strong teachers that the mind is so powerful at creating our reality. So what we say, think, and believe creates our reality. So when you practice with a certainty of belief that you literally are gathering in this chi, you're strengthening yourself. Now bring your mind to your group, right? So we're not practicing alone, right? We're all alchemizing. We're more powerful together. Hopefully you're beginning to feel some opening in the fascia. Good. Feeling an additional swallowing in the throat. Good. And now we're going to test it because we're going to get still. And that's when you can really feel the impact of your work. Good. Bring your energy up, 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 up. Hover at the heart. But this is it more of the, again, these holds are challenging. Sit down. Relax those shoulders. Can you lengthen the spine, but find the places where there's tension and soften them? In this practice, the tailbone kind of draws down. The perineal floor connects to the earth. And we do a few pelvic kind of what we call pelvic Kegels in a way, but we're using this mindset in QiGong and the shamanic tradition where we're squeezing up that nectar we were doing through QiGong. We're pulling in life force from the earth and pulling it up, filling the pelvic bowl. So as you sit here, let's just do 10 rounds of slow engagement, doing kind of drawing in, what we like the Kegel, pulling the walls, you know, of our vagina together, pulling up the pelvic floor, even engaging the anus a bit, pulling up, up, up. It's like you're pulling up this energy from the earth, and then we're relaxing it. So if I'm working with someone who has difficulty with orgasm, who has difficulty with being present in their body during intimacy, or if they're depleted a lot, like they build energy and then it just depletes. What we start to do is strengthen the bottom of the bucket. And so my teacher taught me, like, we all walk around with this bucket, and if there's holes in the bucket where the energy just releases out, whatever we keep pouring in just pours out. And so doing this pelvic floor work and literally picturing energy coming up and having a strong base, it helps on a physical level with bladder control. It helps with ability to have full-bodied orgasms. It helps with our ability to be in our body. But it also helps emotionally to help us feel safe and connected, fully resourced at that base level. So oftentimes we have side effects, symptoms that if we just go in and we strengthen from the inside out, those symptoms go away. Good. Feeling that energy come in and up and releasing. Now we're holding your hands here. So we're going to ask the body continue to kind of fill the base up. And then your hands are right here over the solar plex and heart. You're telling the prana or the kundalini, the chi, to rise up. So that energy you're feeding from the bottom up, move to my heart. And when you don't move your hands, it doesn't dissipate. It's like, okay, I'm supposed to move up here. And it's going to meet what we call the emotional content, any of the resistance of the heart. Sometimes emotion can come up and you just meet it with unconditional love. Just 3 more breaths. You're doing a great job. Again, this is one of the more advanced poses, holding steady. And now see if you can let go of technique and just be present for 3 breaths, just watching the body. Good. Hands come down. Waterfall. Inhale, mind goes out to the horizon, way up. Bring this universal energy down, washing away. Wei Qi, energy from the earth, up through your beautiful legs, through your pelvic floor, up through the solar plex into the heart, through the crown, and connect it with whatever vision you want to use and bring that thickness of a healing, supportive space around you. One more time, waterfall, reaching up, connecting, gaze with your fellow practitioners. You're all getting stronger together. Good. And then Wei Qi, honey in your own heart, honey in their heart. Good, coming back down. Good. One more kind of cleansing technique. And when you do this, I want you to think about running and cleaning energy along the bladder channel. So along the back of the spine in the erector muscles. A lot of people hold tension there. It's about boundaries. It's also about being soft, and it's also where memory and imprint kind of come into the spinal cord. So we're literally washing, right? And so the technique is one of my favorites. It's very powerful. You sit down in your stance. Right palm is like a little above the shoulder facing down. Left palm is in the receiving. Relax. You know, again, you might hold this for a long time if you're practicing with the QiGong master, right? Because what we're doing is we're trying to clean up our nervous system to keep us in a primary parasympathetic state of being. It's really challenging in today's world. So now what we're going to do is we're going to say the word wash, and you're going to imagine you're washing, kind of cleaning the erector muscles from tailbone all the way up to kind of up through the brainstem area, you know, where all your nerves come up and connect to the brain. So you're doing wash. No breath left. Inhale, flip the hands, and then wash again. Wash. So there's nothing left. Good. Inhale, flip, wash, wash. Inhale, wash. Can you go in your body, in your mind, and wash from cranium to tailbone? On both sides of the spine, both sides of the sushumna. Twice more. I can kind of feel that shaking coming in because I'm getting into some of that emotional content. Feels like someone's kind of rattling like a rattlesnake in the tailbone. Wash. Good, now I'll do breathless. Exhale, quiet washing. Inhale, flip the hands, gentle washing. Allow the breath to come in. Flip the hands, imagine moving down both sides of the spine. One more time. And if we were doing external QiGong with a partner, we would again be practicing visualizing this happening in both our spine and their spine at the same time. And it's powerful in all of my training when you just get another person that allows their gaze to come upon you. What can happen? Our gaze is powerful. The nonverbals that we give to ourselves and others are about 90% of all communication. Good, come down. And so one of the practices in yoga we teach is soft gaze. Smile in the eyes. See if you can bring that in. Smile in the eyes, smile in the face. Relaxing the third eye. Hands are going to be hovering right over kind of the belly. Let's do one hand. Let's do left hand on the belly, right hand on the heart. Right. And in the shamanic tradition, this represents lightning, right? Through the body, that light force of lightning. But I want to practice with you all the power of softening the face and the eyes. And when I coach leaders, one of the things I do is I have them record themselves when they're speaking. And as parents, as partners, if we can just record ourselves when we're speaking and we watch our nonverbals, we can see why we have certain experiences in relationships. So if you want to practice using QiGong in an advanced way, before you interact with anyone else, just take 30 seconds to 2 minutes. Putting your hand on your belly and your heart. Actively practicing relaxation. You can even yawn. Everybody try a big yawn. When people are in deep, deep fight, flight, they cannot yawn, right? And so just bringing a yawn in and that smile kind of in the heart, that sense of relaxation in the heart. One more time. Yawning is a technique we use as medical Qigong healers, believe it or not. We yawn and yawn and yawn when we're working with someone to get them to relax and soften, right? And so that's something you can practice 5 to 10 times a day, getting in your heart. Good. One more time. Big yawn. See if you can turn it into a little natural inner smile. Sense of ease in the body. Sometimes I used to try to teach inner smile and it felt so forced. You could see the incongruence. It's because the body is so tight. So if we can do things to free the body and then bring in the technique and then interact with others, we're going to have a lot better outcome, right? Because our eyes are soft and people are constantly searching our nonverbals to let them know if they're safe or not. The communication is going to go well. Good, reach your hands down. Reach up to the cosmos. A big yes. Good, this time we're gonna pour in unconditional love. So make a heart shape and just pour in through your beautiful brain, through your mind, right? Into your heart. It's unconditional love, you can't lose it. And imagine, instead of spreading it out, you're filling up a big bowl in the belly, right? Inhale, reaching up. So I'm trained in the Golden Dragon technique. It's really about alchemizing lead. Any type of suffering that we carry, ancestral, or just our life circumstance, global, and we are alchemizers, overcoming circumstance and past conditioning. You're reaching up. We're connected together and a universal flow, bringing in love, compassion. And when I do this, I also imagine whatever I'm sourcing is gazing upon me with absolute love, my flaws and all, just love. Reaching up, How good does that feel to just have that loving drishti or gaze flowing through, filling up your bucket? And now we've done that pelvic floor work. And so energetically, we want to imagine and tell our body to not leak it out, to hold it so it can spill over and source every other part of us. So chronic neck issues often come from a depleted qi. So to treat the neck, I might actually treat the lower dantian. And when that's full, then whatever healing we have in your neck will sustain. Good, coming down. One more time. Big, strong, reach up. Good, pouring in. Another form that's gonna bring this energy up into the armpits for breast health, as well as strengthen your Wei Qi field. I love this one. It's so simple. It's called flowering rose. And in the medical Qigong, it's used to treat anxiety, depression, and chronic pain. And so in these traditions, chronic pain comes from often a collapse of the heart, right? So what protection of the heart. So we literally walk around so much tension that this isn't completely open. And over time, that creates an inflammation cycle that doesn't naturally clear itself. So this is one of the techniques. It's so simple. And you're gonna take your hands like this, back of the hands together. You're gonna bend your knees. You're gonna imagine dipping it into a bucket of honey. Or I would say for this one, let's imagine we're doing the lotus. So way down through the mucky water, down into the mud, right? And we're gonna draw this energy up. Again, take your thumbs and you're gonna press them so they're gonna press into the right up the midline, okay? And then when you get to the solar plex, you're gonna rotate those wrists, right? So this flowering, drop down. A lot of these techniques are about opening right here. Good. And then from here, you're gonna turn your palms together, prayer. And you're gonna rise this energy all the way up through the crown in a concentrated way. Good. And then you're gonna come back down. Big, beautiful lotus open around you. Backs of the hands, dip in, going down through the mud and the muck. Good. Coming up, using those fingers, opening right here at the solar plex. Palms together, intentionally rise up through that central canal of the spine, connecting in, big lotus flower, flowering rose, flowering lotus. Dip those in, pull it up, palms together, rise it up. Good, now imagine with your cohort here, we're all blossoming. So you see these lotuses all together in Tower Grove Park, other places. Good, and just really feeling that you're practicing in community right now, but also globally. Inhaling up, opening the chest and heart, and then soft flower. Inhaling down. Exhaling around, flowering rose, flowering lotus. Literally embody that. The rotations are important because that helps to move blocked qi, stagnant energy, by rotating the wrists, rotating the arms. And you can incorporate sound, you know, so the traditional sound for me when I do this is it's typically ah, because ah is about opening our heart, smelling the roses, being the roses. So try that a few rounds, just the sound of ah. Inhaling. Ah. Giving yourself that throat permission to be heard. Ah. Good. One more time. Good. Hands come over the heart. One hand here. So these are called the QiGong holds, similar for body workers or those trained in body work. It's similar. You know, when we work on ourselves or others, we're basically telling the inner physician where to work, where to use vital energy coming in from the outside, and to help resource so the body can do what it needs to. So here, one hand on the heart, one hand on the thymus gland. So this is really important during coronavirus times as well, because this is the spot for the immune system work, right? And so we're gonna hold here. You can even tap there if you want. You're gonna hold here, connecting the heart and the thymus gland. right? So if this feels kind of not potent yet, you can just tap here. Maybe we'll do that anyway, tapping. So if I ever feel like I'm getting sick, my kids are getting sick, I tap firm, probably 5 times a day. And we repeat this mantra, my strong mind. So my body is strong, my mind is strong, I've always been strong, my body's healthy. So you literally, you know, plant these seeds of mind, right? And these, that you're telling your body, we're not getting sick. I'm sourcing you, I'm giving you energy. And then we're creating a positive tipping point. And that's what really QiGong is. It's about creating positive tipping points to keep us at our best, our optimal health. Now hold. Just hold and have your awareness at the, right around the heart region and the thymus gland, and visualize. The visualization technique can be anything you want, but we're taught, think of it as a sun, like a pin needle of sunshine. And with every breath your body takes, that pin of sunshine gets bigger and bigger. And if something else unfolds for you, perfect. But it's about invoking the power of the sun in the thymus gland. Asking the body, its immune system to be strong. The white blood cells to do their job. It's a great way to calm anxiety, to create coherence. When the heart is in a coherent state, which literally means the space between the beats of the heart, when they're balanced, every other system in your body is in balance with the heart, is working together at the optimal level. So as we work on that thymus gland, you're going to see the heart respond with this even breath, swallowing above. And just knowing that you're creating this coherence within your own body. And since we're practicing and with our Joy of Yoga brothers and sisters, or sisters for today, in this live call, we are creating social coherence, which is actually very important to feel harmonized energy between all of us, between all of our relations. So the last few minutes, we'll do the social or global coherence practice. It's QiGong practice. And so here what we're going to do is we're going to take your stance, right? So I consider this a practice for all the activists in the world, all the healers who really want to see a better future. And you're going to imagine the whole globe of the earth, right? And imagine so we do this in class, but we're not together. But imagine we're standing in the sacred circle together, side by side, right? Relax your shoulders, elbows float up, kind of like we did with the heart practice. But this time our intention is to harmonize ourselves with one and with all our relations. There are creepy crawlers, the trees, the water, the whole universe, right? So here's how we do it. When we breathe in, we allow our fingers to kind of automatically broaden. They're going to almost like move with puppet strings out to the horizon and go to some place that feels nourishing to you. And so sunset, sunrise, ocean, mountain, connect with that vital resource, that energy. When the hands stop, that means you're there, you're in the sweet spot. And then intentionally bring that universal energy in to the circle, visualizing us together right into our beautiful planet. Picturing the blue water and all the beings in the water, fish, right? Coming back out. Come all the way out till you feel connected to a nature resource, some feeling of support, power. Let it fill you up with gratitude and love, compassion, and bring that. Literally see that light pouring into the planet, now maybe to all the land animals, the human being. Just 3 more times. Give it all your energy going out. Very important to go out beyond your own personality, your own energy field. Connect to something greater that sources you. Feel us all in harmony, connected. And that together, we bring this collective energy into our planet, to all our relations. Feeling the earth energy harmonize with us, with our heart living in harmony. Good, coming back out. You can be very specific if you'd like to go to hospitals or to your community or to areas that are more negatively impacted. It's up to you. The intent is bringing light and harmonized energy to whatever pops up. Part of being a healer. So I'm a healer, and my passion is to teach other people that they're healers too. And how do you do it? Simple, right? And it helps us live the path by teaching it and doing it with others. One last time, bringing your energy right here, focusing it on our beautiful planet, Pachamama, Mother Earth, the oceans, fish, whales, dolphins. Good. And then we pull that energy into our heart. And then we're going to just end with what we call these micro relaxation. And so big yawn and smile, and a ha or an ah. Oh. Not to make us tired, but to really help us relax deeply and come into our parasympathetic. One more time. And then with a smile in our heart, literally nipple to nipple, right hip to left hip, or ovary to ovary, foot to foot, shoulder to shoulder, eye to eye, ear to ear, this whole inner smile. We literally bow. And in your own way, we're going to say goodbye, just with your own blessing to one another. So if you're in the class a lot, you know how to do this. If you're new, you're invited to participate, but can wait. So Diane and Donna are in these practices a lot. So you're just going to bow and you're going to offer your metta. May we have, may you have. Just offer a metta. And after the four of you go, we'll just bow with a namaste and an ending. And when someone offers a metta, breathe it in and soak it in as medicine. So you'll unmute I think everybody's unmuted. If I can say, I need glasses. I'm going to unmute you all. And so when you're ready, I think Donna might still be muted. There you go. And so, okay, we'll end with just a group close. And so how about Diane, you start as we look at this beautiful woman and we take in her